Decimal, addition, and subtraction. Today we're going to look at how to set up decimals so that we can add and subtract them quickly. So how do I add and subtract decimals is my essential question. Your learning intention. I'm learning to add and subtract decimals. You have 4 problems with adding and multiplying numbers. So pause the video and see if you can add and multiply those integers. I hope you tried. So if you're looking, 23 and 63. 23 is positive, you're adding a negative number to it. Think about what happens on the number line. You're starting at 23 and you're going to go 63 units to the left. So that means we've got to find the difference. So I'm going to think 63 minus 23 gives me 40. Okay, now I also have to think which one is bigger, 23 or 63. 63 is bigger, 63 is negative, so 40 becomes negative. 28 plus 40, negative 28 plus negative 42. They're both negatives, so I combine them with addition. 8 plus 2 is 10, carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. This is 70. Remember, it has to remain negative because everything's negative. Okay, what happens when we multiply two negative numbers together? When we multiply or divide two numbers with the same sign, whether they're both negative or both positive, we end up with a positive number. 10 times 5 is 50. Negative times negative is positive, so that would be a positive 50. However, if they're opposite signs, the number becomes negative. Negative times positive is a negative. 2 times 15 is 30. So if you're still struggling with multiplying and adding and subtracting the numbers with unlike signs, please practice. And this brings us to today, where we are adding and subtracting numbers with decimals. Always, always, always keep those columns straight. So if you're looking, the first one has everything straightened up for you. So your decimals are over the top of it, the decimals. 7 plus 9 is 16. Bring my decimal, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Then bring the 2 down because we do not have anything to combine with it. And we're done. For the next one, although it's set up this way, I am going to put it in one over the top of the other like this so I can do it. So I can add easier. It's addition. 800.54, and this is 90.52. So that if you're noticing there's 2 decimals here, I've got the decimals one over the top of the other. Now I'm ready to combine. 4 plus 2 is 6. 5 plus 5 is 10. I put a 0 down, I bring my decimal down, and I carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 0, plus 0, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 0 again is 1. 0 plus 9 is 9. 8 plus 0 is 8. 891.06. or plus 6/100. Okay, so when we're adding, it's the same idea. We put one over the top of the other and we add them together. Everything's positive, so we don't have any problems. When we're subtracting, we do the same thing. So I've got 803.309. 133, so it's 133.36. So if you notice, there's nothing under the 9. If there's nothing there, I can put 0 as a placeholder. It just holds the place so I know that I don't really have anything to add to the 9. This time we're subtracting. So 9 minus 0 is 9. I've got a 0 here. I know that I have to borrow from the tenths column. So this becomes 10. 10 minus 6 is 4. But now I've got another problem because this is a 2 here. 2 minus 3 doesn't work. I've got to borrow again. This 3 becomes 2, and I bring the 10 over. 12 minus 3 is 9. Bring my decimal down. Okay, now I don't have anything to borrow from here, so I have to borrow from the 8. From the 8, it becomes 7. This becomes 10, but I have to borrow 1, and it becomes 9. And now this becomes 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. So this is 663.949. Okay, pause the video and see if you can set this up in rows. What does it look like and how do you set it up? Well, I hope you tried. So 767.3 minus 24.9. So as you're looking at this, you've got your decimals in the same spot. You've got your tenths in the same spot, your ones, your tens, and your 100s. Everything has to be lined up correctly. Now, as I'm looking at this, I cannot take 3 minus 9 doesn't work. 3 is not big enough. So I borrow 1 from the 7. I'm left with 6, and that becomes 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. Bring my decimal. 6 minus 4 is 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. 7, and there's nothing to subtract, so I just bring the 7 down. 742 and 4/10. 742.4. Hopefully this wasn't a struggle and that you do understand the concepts. Okay. Pause the video and see if you can set this one up to add. Can you put everything in columns correctly? Well, I hope you tried. 75.715 plus 30.5. Okay, I've got two columns with nothing underneath, so I can put 0 as a placeholder. 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. 7 plus 5 is 12. I put the 2 down. I carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 7 plus 3 is 10. So the answer is 106.215. 106 and 210 thousandths. Okay, once again, we're going to set it up. Can you write it correctly in columns that are straight? 89, there's my decimal, and 88. Minus, this time we're subtracting, 48, decimal 8. I still need my placeholder, which is a 0. Now I can subtract. 8 minus 0 is 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. 8 minus 4 is 4. 41.08, 41 and 8/100ths. Okay, you've got 4 to do on your own. You can either pause the video, do one, and then check your answer, or pause the video, do all 4, and then check your answer. But please, try them on your own and see if you're understanding the concept. For the first one, it's addition. 656.86. 46.37. So I notice I don't have a hundredth, so the 4 goes under the 5. 49 and 37/100ths. Now I don't have anything that doesn't have a number underneath it. I don't need a placeholder, and I'm adding. 6 plus 7 is 13. Put the 3 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Bring your decimal down, carry the 1. Put the 2 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 9 is 17. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Put the 0 down, carry your 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. So this is a 707. Yeah, like the airplane. 707.23. 707 and 23/100ths. Okay. Did you get that right on your own? I hope so. Once again, we're going to set it up. I've got 2 numbers after my decimal, 2 numbers after my decimal there. This one starts in the hundreds, but this one starts at the tens. So the 26 goes under the 75.64. We're ready to start. 5 minus 4 is 1. 7 minus 6 is 1. Put my decimal. Okay, now 5 minus 6 we can't do. It's got to be greater than 6. So I borrow 1 from the 7. It becomes 6. This becomes a 15. 15 minus 6 is 9. 6 minus 2 is 4. and 8 is brought down. There's nothing to subtract from 8. So it's 849.11. 849 and 11 hundredths. For the next one, if you notice, what's going to happen here? I'm taking a smaller number and I'm subtracting a bigger number. That means that in the end, my answer has to be negative. But I still need to find the difference. So I'm going to put 899.61 at the top. From it, I'm going to subtract 686 and 4.41. I have to find their difference. 1 minus 1 is 0. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring my decimal down. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 8 is 1. 8 minus 6 is 2. So the answer is 213.20. 213 and 21 hundredths. Okay, so when you're doing math, don't just rush through it. Stop and think about the processes. It's very logical. The same thing happens over and over and over again. And once you get the processes down, you can do the math. Okay, for the last one, do we subtract a negative number? No, we plus that positive number. 6.356 plus 5.8. Once again, I need those two placeholders. I've got everything in columns nice and straight. I can now add. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 8 is 11. Put the 1 down, bring my decimal down, and I carry 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. So it's 12.156, or 12 and 156 thousandths. So how do you know you're successful? When you can add and subtract decimals. Okay, what is the most important thing to remember? Keep the columns straight. Line those decimals up. Make sure everything, the tens are underneath the tens, the ones are underneath the ones, the tenths are underneath the tenths, etc., etc., etc.